Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session. I'm Karthik. I'm a cloud and AI architect. Today, we are going to explore something exciting together, which is automation using n8n. Whether you are completely new or already curious about advanced workflows, this session will take you from the basics all the way to solving real world problems using n8n. Let's dive into that. What is automation? Let's take online application as an example. When you submit a form, the data should be auto-populated into the online spreadsheet, and then you get it notified via Slack or even email. And then you are moving that data into other system without any manual work. What is n8n? n8n is a node-based no-code tool, which means you no need to know how to write a code. You just need to know what is the expected outcome. Then you can design an app based on that expectation. And it is a workflow automation tool, so you can connect multiple applications, APIs, and other services. And it is a open source. Unlike Zapier, you can run it on your local machine or on cloud servers. And you can even automate so many things like a repeated task, connecting systems, and even build complex AI pipelines without knowing the code. So that is n8n. Okay, so we talk about what is automation and what is n8n. How exactly we are going to use it? There are three ways to use the n8n. First one is you can install the n8n in your local computer and you can run it without any limitation. And even n8n provides free license key, so you can configure it and you can use all the features. And the second way is subscription based. Subscription based means you no need to worry about all the hassles when you install it locally. You can directly go into n8n.io, as you can see here, and you can see the subscription in the pricing page, and you can choose the plan based on your requirements, and you just go with it, and you can directly use it. And the third option is self-hosted, which means you can install that n8n into cloud provider like AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. And mostly bigger companies prefer that because the reason is they will have more control on the data. They can keep all the data secure, because when you create a workflow, you need to add so many credentials in order to communicate with the Gmail or Google Drive or Slack or Team. So those API keys should be secured. So instead of saving all the credentials in n8n.io, they can install it on their cloud server and they can keep everything safe. So how we are going to use it and when we are going to use it? Let's take some scenarios as an example. Let's assume there is a marketing and product team. They often struggle with video creation because sometimes they have to come up with video using the product images, and it is going to take a lot of time. And every time they update the images or video, it takes a lot of time to redo everything, and it is going to cost them a lot. Let's take another scenario as an example. If the team wants to copy all the customer information from one application to another application, it's going to take a lot of time, like copying data from CRM to Google Sheet or Google Sheet into Slack. So that's where we can use n8n, because we can easily automate it and we can reduce a lot of manual works. And then, as I just said, if we want to connect multiple applications together, CRM, Google Sheet, Slack, G Drive, AI tools, and you can connect whatever the tools you want using n8n. Let's talk about some of the real problems. Let's assume there is a marketing team and a product team. They often struggle to come up with videos, and sometimes they want to create video using images, and it is going to take a lot of time. And when they want to redo it with the different images, or when there is a change in the image or in the video, it involves a lot of manual works. And that's where we are going to use n8n. And let's talk about another scenario: copying customer information from one application to another application, like CRM to Google Sheet or Google Sheet to Slack. So if we want to do it manually, that's going to take a lot of time. And then connecting multiple applications together, it is really tedious. But using n8n, we can make it possible and we can connect them together and we can achieve the result very quickly. Again, let's dive into some real problems. Let's take marketing and product team as an example. They often struggle with video creations, right? Let's assume they have a product image and they want to come up with a video using that product image. it's going to take a lot of time. And when there is some changes in the image, they have to recreate that video, and it is going to take a lot of time and the cost. And it's required a lot of specialist effort as well, right? And then let's talk about another scenario. If you want to copy customer information from one application to another application, like CRM to Google Sheet and Google Sheet to Slack, it is going to take a lot of time and it involves a lot of manual works. And then if we want to connect multiple applications together, it is tedious actually. So every time you have to copy from one application to another application. But using n8n, we can make it possible. Like we can, using workflow, we can connect required application together and we can make them work together in a seamless way. So we talked about a lot. What is automation? What is n8n? How we can use it and what are the possibilities? So let's dive into hands-on. Let me start with the very basic one so that you guys can understand. Then we can move to next level. Okay. Let me log in into my n8n. I think I have already logged in here. Let me go with what are the options we have in the n8n so that we can dive into one by one and then we can create workflow. So first, as you can see here, the orange button, which is create workflow, and then you have a credential and create folder. I will tell you one by one. Okay. The folder is nothing but you can group the workflows. As you can see here, n8n basics, n8n advanced, those are folders similar to your computer folders. Okay. And then the credential, I will explain it later. Let's see what are the options we have in left-hand side. So we have a projects overview. In the overview, you can see all the workflows that you have, and then the executions, how many executions you have done, and failure, percentage of failure, everything you can see. And then you have credentials. Credentials, as I said, I will show you later so that you will understand in a better way. And then executions. Execution is nothing but when you create a workflow, you have to execute it, right? If it is not executed, the automation is not going to run. So that is execution. So you can check every executions here. So let me go into the another option, personal, which is basically my account, personal account. And then you have projects. So projects is nothing but you can group it, and under the project, you can create multiple folder, and under the folder, you can create multiple workflows. Okay. And the credentials, you can see it here, which is basically you can create credential for this, for specific project. Okay. Let me create a workflow so that you guys can understand everything. Before start creating a workflow, let's talk about workflow components. There are 4 components: trigger nodes, action nodes, logic nodes, and data mapping. So trigger nodes will help you to decide when exactly the flow has to be executed, like when you send a message, when you upload a file. Action nodes are going to execute some specific task, like sending an email, uploading file to Google Drive. Logic nodes are going to check the condition and it is going to execute the nodes based on the condition, like if this or that. Or sometimes you want to execute a specific node multiple times. So that's where the logic nodes are going to help. And then data mapping. Data mapping is nothing but you need to transfer data from one node to another node so that the further node will execute based on the information that we are sending to that. Like let's assume the next node is required first name and last name to send an email. So you need to map or send that information to the next node so that it will get that information and it will send an email. That's where data mapping is very helpful. So this is a new workflow, and this is where you can create your workflow or automation. So let me show you some of the options that we are going to use it. Let's assume you have a lot of nodes, and this will help you to set it in a screen so that you can see all the nodes. And then you have zoom in option, zoom out option, and then tidy up. Tidy up means, let's assume you created up and it is bit messed up. So this will help you to align the workflow. And then you have option to add nodes. Like when you click it, will show all the nodes, available nodes. So you can add the node, whatever node you want. You can even search it here. And then you have nodes, sticky nodes, basically. So let's assume you have a bigger workflow. And when you want to explain about it, you can add this node and you can write it here. So just double click, you can write it. Let me delete it. When you are stuck in something, like you don't know how to proceed further, and what are the options you need to choose. You can ask this AI and you can get some help from this and you can try to apply. So let me add a trigger node, because as I explained, when you create a workflow, there should be some trigger point so that the flow will be executed. Okay. I will choose the basic one for this demo. And then in the next demo, we'll go with the Telegram and further. Okay. So I will go with the very basic one, which is on chat message. This will help you to send a message from the screen and you can see the workflow triggered. Okay. So I'm not going to change any configuration. So I'm going to trigger the test chat and you can see the chat window here. So let me send hello. So you see here the log is empty. When I send, you see the node executed successfully and you are able to see the hello message as well. And another way is just click the trigger node. You should be able to see in the output. I just sent hello, right? So that's a trigger. And let's process the message and generate the response using AI and show it here. Okay. In order to communicate with AI, we need AI agent node. You can find it here. You can search AI agent, or you can just click the first one, AI, and then you can choose AI agent. Using this AI agent, you can do so many things like generating the response and keeping the previous messages in the memory, so that when you ask a question, it will keep the previous conversation in memory and it will use it and generate a message. And even you can connect with multiple other tools like Notion or other AI models, and you can generate the response. Let's go with a simple one in this example. As you can see here, it is automatically connected. The the message input is already connected here. Chat input, right? So let me test it. So when I test it, okay, we have some issue. Let's dive into that. So what we have, as you can see here, subnode must be connected and enabled, which means, see, it is highlighting the chat model is not connected to transfer the data, right? So that's why. So let me close this and I'm going to add the chat model. Let me search Gemini. We have Gemini chat model. As you can see here, my existing credential is already populated. If you want to add the credential, you just click the drop down. You can create new credential or you can edit it if you have old credential. Okay. If you don't know how to create a credential, you just follow this documentation, click the open docs. It will redirect to another page and you can follow the steps and you can get the credential. So let me use my existing credential and I will close this. So the chat model is connected. Okay. So now this should be executed. As you can see here in the bottom, the chat model is connected. Let me execute the step. See, this is my input, hello, and the output is, how can I help you today? This is from Gemini chat model. Okay. Let me ask more questions. I will say as, my name is Karthik. So let me send this message. As you see here, hello Karthik, it's nice to meet you. How can I assist you today? Okay. Now let me ask my name. What is my name? It cannot respond because there is no memory model. As I said, it should remember, right? There should be a record so that it can check the information or previous conversation and get the response. As you can see here, as an AI, I don't know your name. I don't have access to personal information about you, right? Let's add memory model. So for this demo, I will use the simple memory. You have a lot of advanced tools or components like MongoDB, Postgres, Redis. Let's go with the simple one, which is simple memory. This is about how many past interaction that has to be remembered. So let's go with the file. I will just click it. So this is a memory model. Now we added memory model, which means we gave the capability to that agent to remember some information, previous conversation. Okay. So let me repeat the question again. Okay. Hi, my name is Karthik. Okay. So hi Karthik, it's nice to meet you. How can I help you today? Now let me ask my name. What is my name? See, your name is Karthik because we gave the ability to remember the previous conversation. Okay. So we just build a very simple one. This is like the Gemini will help you to generate answer. Like it is a conversation AI basically. So you can ask any question and it will come up with answer. Okay. So we just created a workflow which will generate auto response using AI agent and then Google Gemini chat model. And even we gave capability to remember last five conversation, right? Let's create another workflow how we can create image using text. I will save this, and before saving it, I will rename it simple chat workflow. Okay, saved. I just press enter and it is saved. Okay, I will go back to the n8n demo and you can see here simple chat workflow. And let me create new workflow so that we can create workflow for image creation. Okay, here we are again. Let me go with the trigger. As I said, we need a trigger. That is very important. Without a trigger, it is not going to execute the flow. I will go with the same node, which is on chat message, and I will use as it is. So let's test with this. Hello. And you can see here it is successfully executed. And then let's add the Gemini model to create image. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add node. I'm going to search Gemini. So Google Gemini. We used chat model in the previous workflow. Let's use Google Gemini so that we can choose whatever the model we want. Okay. So here you have a lot of options. As I said, we are going to create image. So there is an option called generate an image. Okay. I will go with this. And as you can see here, it is choose my existing credential. And then we are going to use image. Of course, it is going to generate image, the operation, and then which model we want to use. And as you guys might notice, recently we are hearing a lot about nano banana, right? So let's use that model. You can see it here. The first model is a nano banana. Let's go with that. And then the prompt. The prompt is very important because based on the message, it is going to generate image. How exactly we are going to pass it? If you want a static prompt, like if you want only creating a watch image, you just write it here. Or if you want pass it dynamically, you can just pass the variable. You can click this and you can drag it here because this is where the custom message is going to be, right? As you can see here, hello. So we want to pass that message here. So instead of hello, we can ask some image request, like create a smartwatch image or some other inputs we can pass. Okay. So I'm not going to execute it because it just hello. So I will save it and I'm going to execute it once again. Let's ask the model to create an image. Okay. So can you create a Apple? Maybe we can go with Apple. I have prepared some of the prompts. We can use that prompt to generate an image. Okay. So just give me a minute. Okay. So this is the prompt that I prepared to generate an image. It's basically generating Apple Watch image. Okay. Let's send this prompt and we'll see what it is going to generate. And the trigger is triggered and then the data is sent to the model. Okay. The image is generated. And as you can see here, you received output. Sorry, you see the output here. You have two options. The one is first you can see the image or you can download the image. Let's see the image. Okay. See the image is generated. This is from basically when you send a prompt, the prompt is triggered the trigger node and then message is sent to the generate image model and it is generated. You can download and you can use it. So this is very simple one. Using this, what we are going to do here is we are going to integrate Telegram. So basically, when you send a message in Telegram, it will trigger automatically and then the message will send to generate an image model. Once the image is generated, it will send to the Telegram back. That's what we are going to build it in the next workflow. We are going to build a video generator using Telegram and video generation model. Let me delete this and then let's integrate the Telegram. Go to the add node and then type Telegram. You should be able to see this option. And when you click it, the first thing is we need trigger. When exactly it has to be executed? When receive a message, so that we can send prompt in the Telegram. When receive it, it will trigger on message. Here, as you can see here, my Telegram is already configured, but I'm going to show you how you can configure it, because we need to generate API key, and using that API key, we can establish the connection between n8n and Telegram. Let's create a video generator using Telegram. First, we need a trigger. When exactly it has to be triggered? When message received in the Telegram. Let me add the Telegram trigger. Telegram, and you can see a lot of triggers under it. So we are going to use on message trigger, and it is auto populated my existing credential, but I'm going to show you how we can create credential. Okay, so that you can create a credential and you can map it here. Let me open the Telegram. This is a Telegram bot. Actually, in your Telegram, you can search it as bot father, and this you will be able to find this one. Just type slash bot, new bot, and it is asking the bot name, because without a bot, you cannot get the current API credential. So you are going to communicate with the bot, and bot will send that message to n8n, and then it will execute the video generation. Let's enter the bot name. For this demonstration, I'm going to use FTA Global n8n demo as a bot name. Okay, and then it is asking the bot username. This should be unique and it should end with bot. Let me use FTA underscore global underscore n8n demo bot, because it should end with a bot, as you can see here. It is giving some suggestions, so better use in this way. Let me remove all the underscore, enter. Yes, so the bot is created and you are able to see the API key, right? So you just click the API key, it will be copied, or you just select and copy the text, okay? And then you can add it here. Create a new credential, you just place it here and it will be ready. If you face any issues, you just open the doc here. You should be able to follow some steps and you should be able to create the token. As you can see here, API bot access token, how you can follow it, like here, bot further, right? So you just follow the step and you should be able to create the API key. Now, let me use my existing key, like it is already populated. I will close it. As you can see here, the Telegram trigger is added here, and I'm gonna execute this. As you can see here, the token is created. So let's use this token, and let me update my existing Telegram credential. I'm going to place it and I'm going to save it. It is saved and connection tested successfully. Let me retry. Okay. Retry also success, which means the connection is successfully established between n8n and the Telegram. Let me close this and no thanks. Let me execute this. Execute. So as you can see here, it is waiting for the event. Let me open that bot and send a message. The bot is here. Let me send a message. Hello. So it is executed successfully and you can see the message here. Hello, right? Which means when you send a message to the Telegram bot, it will auto trigger. We are successfully able to establish the connection. Then let's integrate the Gemini video generation. Okay. So you can click it here, or you can click this plus button over here and then Gemini. So generate a video. You can see under video actions. So I'm going to use generate a video. Again, we need to properly send the prompt and then we need to choose the model as well, right? So the API key is automatically populated. So let me choose the model. I will go with the fastest one and generate preview. And then I will save it. I will connect with the Telegram so that I can map the proper field. Okay. So it is connected. Then let me double click it. Now you are able to see all the output from the triggers. And when you want to pause the prompt, it's just a message, right? So you just click the message and drag and drop it here. It will be auto-populated. I'm not going to execute it because it's just hello. Let me send actual prompt. So I have prepared a prompt to generate a video. Let me execute it and then we'll use the prompt. Okay, execute. So it is waiting for the event. Let me get the prompt and we'll use it. This is a very simple prompt to generate a smartwatch video. Let me send it. It is triggered. I will close this bot further because we already generated it. So it is triggered and it is already sent the prompt to generate video. Let's see. Okay. The video is generated. Let's see how the output is. Okay. You can see here it is 770 KB. Let me view this. So it is perfectly created. Okay. So let's assume a person from a product and marketing team, if they want to generate a video for their product, it is very easy. They no need to spend a lot of time to take a picture and then come up with the video, or to modify that video, spending a lot of money. It is not required. You can simply create it very fast. Okay. It is time saving and cost effective as well. Let's send this output to the Telegram back. So before send that video to the Telegram, let's save it in the Google Drive and send that link to the Telegram so that we can keep a copy in somewhere, and then we can use that URL to download or view the video. Okay. Let's add the Google Drive here. Again, I click the add node and then Google Drive. Where is Google Drive? Here. You just click the Google Drive, and what we are going to do here is we are going to upload file. Let me choose that upload file. And here, since I created a node from the existing node, it is auto linked. What we are going to do here is we are just going to map the folder from the Google Drive. That's it. It is going to save it. And of course, you have to configure the credential over here. Okay. I have already configured it. It is auto-populated. But if you want to configure it, again, just click the edit or click the drop down. You can click create new, and then you can follow this open docs. It will help you to create a secret key so that you can use it in the node. Let me use my existing key. I will go with that. Cancel. So it's better use some unique names like a random ID or something, so that whenever you generate a video, it will keep saved instead of overriding it. So for now, our testing, I'm going to keep one static name, Apple Watch Demo Video. Let it be that. And then where exactly we are going to save it? Is it in the parent drive or in my drive? So let me choose mine, and then I will use the output. Okay. Output folder as a destination folder. Okay. Let me select output and execute it. Let's see whether it is going to save this video or not. It is saved and it gave you accessible link also. So using this link, you should be able to view and you should be able to download. Let me see if I'm able to see that video. Okay. Right click, go to that link. Yes, I'm able to see that. It is saved. Let me go to the drive and let's see. Here, this is what I choose. As you can see here, even the file name also, Apple Watch Demo, which is stored perfectly. So let's send this URL, which is web view link URL, to the Telegram back. Let me add another node from here. So we no need to click drag and drag. It will auto link. Okay. Let me search Telegram again. And here, previously we choose trigger, right? Now we are going to send message. Okay. So let's select send message. We have option send a text message. Okay. That's what we are going to do because it's a URL. It's not a video. It's a URL. The drive link we are going to send. Okay. Send a text message. So since it is already populated, what I'm going to do here is we need to map some of the fields so that it will send to the proper chat, and then of course the text. Okay. Let's link the text first, which is web view link. Using this link, they will be able to see. And if you want to add some text, you can add it here. Here is the generated video based on your request. Okay. So this is a simple message so that they will be able to see the video, and then chat ID. So you can see you cannot see the chat ID here because the reason is this is drive, right? You should be able to see all the file related information. So let's close this, and from the Telegram trigger, you should be able to see the message or the chat ID. Okay, that's what we need, right? So just click this and drag it here. So the chat ID also mapped. Then let's execute the step. So as you can see here, the steps is executed. Let's open the Telegram bot and we'll see if we are received the message. Okay, so you see here is the generated video based on your request and that link is shared with it. Okay, what we just did was we simply integrated the Telegram and we created the video based on the prompt that we input, and then we stored that video into Google Drive and we send that link to Telegram back. Okay, so this is a very simple one. Okay, so using this, you can generate a video and you can optimize the prompt and you can come up with many videos as much as you want. Okay, so this is a simple one. Let's dive into bit advanced video generation. Okay, so that we can use it in a many different way. Like when you give a text, it should generate a video based on the text, or when you send a picture, it should generate a video based on the pictures. Okay, let's dive into it. So we just build a simple workflow using Telegram and generated an image, and we uploaded that image into Google Drive. Then we send back that link to Telegram. So let's dive into bit enhanced one. I have already prepared this workflow for you guys so that we can save some time. So let's start from the beginning. First one is, of course, it's a Telegram trigger. We need a trigger node, otherwise the workflow will not be executed. And then we have another node which is related to Telegram. What we are doing here is when receive a prompt, we are sending back the status. Like we got the request and generating a video. This may take around 1 to 2 minutes, so that the end user know that the request sent properly and the request is in progress. Okay. And the third one is we have a logic node. I hope you guys remember that we have 3 type of nodes. One is a trigger node, and then action node, and then logic node. So using this logic node, we can check the condition. Based on the condition, we can execute further nodes. Okay. Here we are checking that whether it is a text request or image request. So when there is only text request, we are directly calling the Gemini video generation model, and we are generating the video and uploading into the Google Drive and send that video link to the Telegram bot. Okay. So when there is an image, we are uploading to the Google Drive because we need to keep track of what are the images that we used to generate the video. Okay. So we are uploading that we are uploading that image into a drive, and then we are calling the file.ai. So this is basically a view AI only. As you can see here, we are calling view 3. When we use Google Gemini view video generation model, we cannot send file. So that's why I'm using the HTTP request. Okay. So using this request, I'm sending the prompt and then I'm sending the file as well. So once it is done, it will wait for 1 minute. Once it is triggered, it will wait for 1 minute, and then it will check the status, and then it will download the file and upload to the drive. When there is an error, it will wait for 30 seconds and it will check the status again. When it is ready, it will download the file and execute the further nodes. Okay. So this is a bit enhanced version. Let's test it. Let me run the workflow. Let's test the text only, then we will test the image. Okay. Let's test this workflow. I have already prepared the prompt to generate video from text. Let's run this workflow, then call the bot. Okay. So I'm sending this prompt to the bot. Let's see. So as you guys can see here, it is triggered the trigger node and then send the status, which is got your request. And then it's used that logic node to check if it is image or text, and it is identified as a text, then it is directly called the generate video model. Let's wait for a while and let's see the outcome. As you guys can see here, it is completed and uploaded into the drive and send the video link to the Telegram. You can see it here. Let's test this link. So let me download. Yes. And let me open it. Here is the video. So it is generated perfectly. Let's try with image with text. Okay. I'm going to run it again, and let me upload the smartwatch picture. Here is the one. And then let me feed the generated or prepared prompt. Okay, here is the prompt. Let's test it. So yes, it is perfectly identified as it comes with a picture. So it is redirected to the another execution. It may take some time because it will use that image to generate a video as well as the prompt. So let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes. So as you guys see in the flow, it was not ready in 1 minute. That's why it went to the error execution. So it waits till 30 seconds and I tried and there was a success execution. So it download that image and it upload into the drive and then it send back the URL to Telegram. So let's open this. So this is the video generated using image and prompt. Yes, it comes perfectly. Of course, there is a glitch, but we need to optimize the prompt because the outcome is based on your prompt and input. We have to optimize a lot to come up with the find outcome. Okay. So this is another enhanced version of generating video using prompt and prompt with image. Okay. So as you guys see here, there is a trigger node and then status update node and then logic node. And then we are downloading that file, uploading into the drive and setting the prompt when there is an image. Like here, there is a image. Use this image to generate a video. So that's what we are setting it here. And then we are sending that information to media agent. This node is very, very important in the n8n because using this node, you can do so many things. As you guys can see here, I have used GPT-5 mini and then fallback and then simple memory, creating document, think node. So many things you can integrate. Basically, like using this node, what you can do here is when the prompt receive, you can optimize the prompt using GPT-5 and then you can save that prompt to keep the track of like a last 5 prompt or 10 prompt so that when you ask question again or when you send prompt again, it will check the previous history and then it will use the information to come up with the fine-tuned prompt. Okay. And then it will think before ask some of the question to you. Like when you send some prompt, there might be some information missing. So it will try to fill that information using that think node. When there is not possible, it will ask you back again. But when it is possible, it will fill it and it will send to the creative agent. So when prompt received to creative agent, it will check whether it comes with the image or not. When there is an image, it will optimize that image using edit image node and then it will send to the image to video node. But when there is no image, it will create that image and it will send that image to create video. Okay, so this is how it works. So once it is completed, it will send the logs and it will keep the logs into a spreadsheet and send back the status. So this is bit enhanced version of the previous workflow. This will help you to generate a video in a better way because we have integrated the think model and then we are using GPT-5 mini which will help you to fill the information, and when there is issue it will come to the fallback and it will check and it will try again. So this is a bit advanced version. So here is the another advanced version of the previous workflow. And here I have used so many nodes and I have used GPT-5 instead of Gemini because I want to build it in a different way and show the possibilities. Okay, let's start from the first trigger node. Okay, of course, without trigger node, it will not call. And then we are sending the status to Telegram. Like we received a request and we are processing it. Okay, and then we are using logic node to identify whether it is only prompt or prompt with image. When there is an image, it will download and upload into the drive and setting the prompt. Hey, this is a image URL and you have to do like this. So we are setting the prompt and then we are calling the media agent. And this is very, very important node in n8n because using this, you can integrate so many AI services and other models. Okay, as you guys can see here, I'm using GPT-5 to optimize the prompt, and then I'm using OpenAI fallback model to check if there is any issue and call it again. And then I'm using memory model. So memory is basically, there are many options. Let me show you here. So as you guys can see here, there are many options: MongoDB, Redis, Postgres, but I'm just using the simple memory to for this workflow, because it is more than enough for this workflow to keep the previous prompt, so that when the request comes again, it will check the previous prompt and it will try to come up with a better prompt. Okay. And then creating doc. This one is basically I'm just creating the documents, so that once the result is ready, it will create it in a documents and send that document content as a result to the Telegram. Okay. So create document is basically, it is not a single node. It refers to another workflow. Let me open it. As you guys can see here, it refers to another workflow. Let me walk you through the entire workflow first, then I will dive into the another workflows, okay? Because we have used many workflows here. So this is another workflow, and we are using create image as another workflow, edit image, create video, image to video, okay? Let me walk you through the entire workflow first. So once the result is ready, it will use that workflow to create a document, and the think model will help you to think before ask you the questions. Let's assume you are sending a prompt, but there is missing information. So before ask you, it will try to fill that information. If that is possible, it will fill the information and it will call the creative agent. Otherwise, it will send back the message to the end user, hey, this is the information required. Okay. And when the information is filled, it will come to the creative agent and it will use the GPT-5 mini to optimize the prompt once again. And then it will create an image. When there is no image, it will create an image and then it will use the image to video. But when there is an image, it will optimize that image and then it will use image to video. Okay. So this is how it works. Let's dive into the another workflows, which means the related workflows. Okay. Let's take one node as an example, like image to video. Okay. Let me open it. As you guys can see here, there is an image to video workflow is linked to this node. Let me open it and I'll go back to the save it, and here image to video. So this workflow is linked to the master workflow, so that when the trigger comes, it will upload the image to the drive, and then it will download that image and it will upload to the IMGBB. That's basically a third-party service. We are just uploading image into the portal and we are getting the publicly accessible URL. Okay. And we are sending that URL to fall.a. It will generate the image as we saw in the previous workflow. So it will generate a video and it will download that file, upload into the drive. At the same time, it will send back to the Telegram. So this is how it works. Let's see the edit image tool. Okay. So this flow will help you to optimize the image for the video generation. Let's assume you are sending a very small image, but the video is required to generate 16:9 aspect ratio. So we need to optimize that image. Otherwise, the video will not come in a best way, right? So it will help you to adjust the aspect ratio and then use that image to generate a video to get the better outcome. And then we have a create doc tool. So this will help you to generate a documents and keep it in the Google Drive, and then use that information to send back to the Telegram. And then we have create video tool. So this will help you to directly generate a video using prompt only without image. And of course, it will store it into the Google Drive and send back the result to Telegram. So these are the sub workflows we have, and those workflows are referred in the master workflow. And once the creative agent execution is finished, based on the status, whether success or error, it will get the logs and it will store it in the sheet. Because when you generate a bigger videos, it will consume a lot of tokens and you may need to pay a lot of money. So it's better to keep track of all the usage so that you can check and optimize your prompts and come up with the better or in a cost effective way of video generation. And once the result is ready, it will send back to the prompt. Sorry, it will send back to the Telegram. So this is a bit advanced workflow, and using this workflow, you can create image or you can create a video using image or with text only. Okay. Hope this workshop is informative and you got enough knowledge to start using the automation using n8n. Let's connect in the next session. Thank you all.